Hey there, welcome back to High Infidelity, the best channel for cheating stories. Like and subscribe to channel for more spicy stories. Now, let's get into today's story video. Almost 2 years after, AP is back and I got police involved. Last May, my 31 male, wife 30 female, told that she was seeing another guy she met at a friend's birthday party in January. She said that they just chatted for the majority of the party and that she had no intention of seeing him again. But he obtained her phone number from a friend. She said that after being requested many times, she consented to go out for coffee with him, but nothing occurred, so she kept seeing him until they ended up at his apartment and had. She continued to meet him every other weekend and admitting to visiting his home 8 or 9 times. But before I knew any of that, I challenged her because I saw she had taken a pregnancy test. She buried the box in the bottom of the trash can, but I usually empty the bin upside down rather than changing the bag. By the way, I had a vasectomy. When I confronted her, she burst into tears and assured me that she had finished the affair a few weeks earlier. She kept weeping, saying she was sorry and she would do anything. It came to the point where she was having an anxiety attack, and I'm not sure why she would do that if she didn't want to harm our marriage. I sought confirmation that she had terminated it, and she provided me the final messages that confirmed she had told him she couldn't see him anymore. I got drunk that night because I couldn't sleep because I was so upset. She wouldn't leave my side the following day, but I was upset and needed space. I stayed with my father for almost a month. She used to contact me every day and send me poetry and love letters. At the same time, I drove past our home to check if she was there, and there were no other vehicles, so I was still concerned. After a month apart, I decided to return to her and begin reconciliation, with the condition that she maintain a GPS app on her phone notifying me where she is at all times, extreme maybe. But she betrayed my confidence, and I didn't know what else to do if we were going to solve this. She appeared to have no difficulties with anything and just wanted to remedy this. 1 year later, I can say we are closer than ever, and I have learned some of my own shortcomings, not to justify what she did. But I believe we have arrived at a position where we are both happy and pleased. Of course, knowing that she had an affair will always irritate me, but when we are both happy, I seem to be able to put that resentment in the back of my mind and simply accept that what occurred happened, and it is better not to dwell on it. Now, she informed me last week that he messaged her and asked how she was doing, but she didn't respond. He contacted her again, asking whether she missed me. She informed me about the messages, but did not respond to him. I became enraged because he was messaging my wife and I already knew what he wanted. I texted him from my phone, urging him to go lost. I used much harsher and semi-threatening language, and he responded, "Oh my goodness, really? Are you afraid that you'll plow your wife again?" She said that you had a little D in everything. I got so enraged that I smashed my phone against the wall. My wife assures me that she did not say that, and that he is just upset because she does not want him. I'm not sure what to trust at this point, but I have his phone number banned. Then I received a message on Facebook from someone who was not on my contact list. It was him using a burner account who emailed me a picture of my wife at what I assume is his apartment, with her on his sofa. Then he emailed me a video file that I knew I didn't want to view, but I clicked on it anyway since it was a video of her performing oral on him. I couldn't stand it for more than a few seconds. I felt like I'd been struck by a train. I feel like I'm back at square one with my wife. I can't look her in the eyes without thinking about what she did. I knew this had occurred previously, but seeing it again makes me feel embarrassed and emasculated. I phoned the police on this person, and they are looking into him. They say he might be charged with defamation and harassment. Everything was going so beautifully until I met this man. Yesterday morning, as I was getting ready for work, I broke down, screaming like a baby and falling on the floor. My wife rushed to my rescue and comforted me, but this is the same woman who broke me. I was enjoying what we had until AP messages arrived, but after what I saw, I'm not sure how long it will take me to get over this. The resentment in my mind has grown so large that it may be unsustainable in our relationship. I'm looking for guidance. Story 2. I must divorce my wife. She keeps cheating. I can forgive, but I cannot continue. We've been married for over 10 years. I'm in my early 30s without children. I was in school and doing horrible jobs for the most of the time, but this final year I obtained a terrific position in a lovely town and we relocated. It was supposed to be the point in life when things began to improve. Actually, she had almost an affair with a man from her workplace before we left. She told me about it for some reason, how she was drawn to him, how he had his own company and so on. She had considered leaving me at one time. She was expecting a sign from God. Something wasn't right since she was being incredibly chilly to me. He wouldn't embrace or grin at me. That's when she informed me that God will tell her whether or not she should go with this other man. So this broke my heart, since I believed our bond was unbreakable. At this moment, I needed her more than anything else, but she was aloof. So after about a week, which had been the worst week of my life up to that point, she came to me in tears and said something about God being extremely unkind or something, and she said she wanted to remain with me. It became evident to me at this time that she was simply making up theology as she went along. She is also bipolar. You may be wondering what all the God stuff is about. We're both Christians, but she goes a little crazy with it, and I simply try not to make any bad choices because of it. She's often asking me what God is doing or why he did something, and I attempt to explain that she doesn't really know for sure that God did the item in issue, that she's skipping logical stages and so on. So this is when I began to have reservations about us. When I saw she was willing to cheat, I questioned if I wanted to continue. I agreed to continue since she didn't cheat, but I had a poorer view of her after that. So I get this job, and we relocate. Nice flats close to the beach. For a few months, everything is okay. Then this neighbor in his mid-40s moved in. I see she begins to spend a lot of time with him. Gifts begin to emerge in our flat. I sometimes visit his flat, but I don't like him. I'd gotten home from work to find her at his house, both of them stoned. I didn't have any strong suspicions at the time. I came over one day after a party they were having over there, which I had to miss since they were using marijuana, and I didn't want to fail a drug test, and found her nude and sleeping in his bed. I'm high on Xanax. She maintains she did nothing wrong. When she wakes up the following day, I panic out a bit and tell her I don't trust her anymore. Later, I read her journal, in which she openly confesses to having with him on several times. The worst day of my life has arrived. She confesses to having with him and this 19-year-old ghetto fool who sometimes hangs around there. I tell her I'm thinking of divorcing her but haven't decided if I want to forgive her. Things return to normal, kind of, and I tell her she can't hang out with this man by herself anymore. She does it anyhow, and the same thing occurs again, and I discover her nude and sleeping in his bed under the same conditions. I panic once again and tell her she can't hang out with him. She still does, but then something strange occurs, and this man, also the 19-year-old, stops trusting her and stops communicating to her. They both accuse her of strange things that I'm quite sure she didn't do, but I'm not interested in clearing that up. So everything returns to normal. We meet new people, good ones that aren't bad. She claims she did those other things because she craves a lot of, which I can't provide 3 times a day. She creates an online dating profile and begins receiving many messages. She leaves her computer open, and I see she's made plans to meet with random internet people while I'll be out of the apartment. One of which is most likely occurring right now. One is scheduled at 7 p.m. today. She has no idea I know. She also claims in her chats on the dating site to have had with a lot more males than I previously knew about, some of whom she had intercourse with quite recently. As a result, I must divorce her. Obviously. As I write this, I can't believe I put up with it this long. I genuinely believed I was doing her a favor by giving her second opportunities. I understand what some of you are thinking. She'll ask for alimony. Actually, I doubt she will. She said that she does not and believes it is unjust. She is spontaneous rather than calculated. So I anticipate to be able to seek a divorce quickly. We live in Maryland, therefore we can't seek a no-fault divorce till we've lived here for a year, which we haven't. Otherwise, I'll need a witness to confirm the grounds for divorce. If it's permitted, I may be able to persuade her to do it. She may acknowledge it. In addition, I have her handwriting confessing what she did. I'm not sure whether it qualifies.